ahead. So I will call this regular meeting of the Public Site and Building Commission to order at 7:01. And if you'll join me in the pledge, our flag's over there. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Feedback from Olson, you can, otherwise you can. Okay, so going along through our agenda, public input. Is there any public who wants to give some input? No. All righty then. Correspondence. All the correspondence came through. You didn't get anything recently, like since I saw you last. Good. Election of officers. So we've been putting this off and putting this off, but I don't know if we should keep putting it off because I wrote a letter, the first selectman wrote a letter to the new guy, I wrote a letter to the new guy, nothing. I don't know. Should we just do it?
Wait till Dave gets here.
Or Beth?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can put it back a little bit. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. So we will put off election of officers for a little bit. Approval of meeting minutes. I will make a motion that we approve the regular meeting minutes from May 10, 2023.
Second.
We got seconds. Anybody have any input on the minutes or any corrections or changes that need to be made? All in favor? Aye. Does anybody need to abstain? Dave also needs to abstain, yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I didn't ask anybody who said no. But everybody said aye, so good. So we'll get into the old business. We have our municipal center renovations and project update. There were a number of things that, not a lot, but just a handful of things that were still waiting to be finished. Those have all been finished except for one thing. And so Mark, I don't know if you have Mark Schweitzer, that's you, Mark. Mark? Yep, there you are.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
So I was just, go ahead.
Yeah, I was out there last Friday and they had moved the door closers so the interior doors open up the 180. They had put the partitions in and it was blessed by the building official. They basically at the end of Friday, they had a couple items as far as cleaning the tile still waiting on the proposal for the astragal for the exterior doors. But all in all, they have pretty much completed the punch list with the exception of the cleaning.
Yeah, that's kind of what I saw too. There seemed to still be a bunch of residue on the walls, especially the white walls, although you saw some on the maroon walls, the maroon tile.
Yeah.
So they may need to just wipe them. It's, it's tile grout and sheetrock dust. You can't just wipe it off once. Wipe it off a whole bunch of times. So hopefully they'll get that taken care of. The astragal for the entry doors, is that just a piece of weather? You're not looking at putting a big, heavy lock-in-place astragal. We're gonna just put some kind of more substantial weather stripping in that. There's a groove.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Correct. It goes between the two exterior doors.
Yeah. And so, did we get the building permit? Did the building official give us a CO? A permanent CO? Do we know?
I do not know that. I can follow up with BMP on that.
Okay, I'll ask the building official too. Because it was temporary back in March, so he blessed the partitions, and that was the biggest thing, what they were
Yep.
not right. And that actually the little 10-inch thing that they added at the men's urinal. Doesn't do shit. But anyways, that's, that's done, so. Like the Astrogol's the only thing, cleaning the tiles, and I'm still not real happy with the way they shimmed the closers or the panic bars on the GP room doors. Because if there's shims there, they're smaller, and then they stuck that black goop in there. So we'll have to, I don't know, we'll have to see about that. So that's pretty much it, I think. The next meeting, we may have an application for payment, so we'll have to make sure everything's completed before we do that. There's still a little bit that they have to hold back for retainage. And then, I don't know, we gotta find out whatever the standard time is as far as leaving that and then releasing it, because we shouldn't be hanging on to it too long. It's not a lot, but a little.
Correct. I did look at the application that you submitted, and it was like $8,200 that is in retainage.
Yes. Yeah, and that was just a small amount that the town attorney wanted to have kept in retainage. Just because. So, yeah, we'll have that next time. And is there anything else, Mark?
Nope, that is it.
So we're at, right now, so that application for payment, here's Mr. Horvath. That application for, thanks for coming. That application for payment puts us at, it was like 404 plus the Collier's amount, and my guess was, because they approved, we had 490 approved, because we put a big chunk in contingency, just in case we found more hazardous stuff in the bathrooms when we ripped it apart, and we didn't, so we should have, a chunk 60 or so left. That'll just go back into, because I think this all came out of ARPA. If it did, that goes back into the ARPA chunk, and then it can be used for something else. So, yeah. Yep. All right, so we don't have any invoices. We don't have much else to do with that, and we'll get another update at our next meeting. And you didn't have anything else that you needed to, because Kathy went through it with Mark last week, and then I went through it with Rachel McGrath, Director of Parks and Recreation, and we looked at everything and kind of all agreed that just those couple of things, so no thanks. All right, so I think we're good with this. Yeah. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep, thank you. Have a good night.
You too. So schools, Rockwell and Johnson School, there's nothing new with the Office of School Construction, kind of waiting on the paperwork sort of thing. They're doing whatever their review is and their audit, and as I reported last meeting, all of the additional information they asked Dr. Carver for, which is only like 2 or 3 things, she gave them. That's where we are with that. So we don't really have anything for that part, but we do have one invoice for the level spreader part. I told Joe Collada he didn't need to be on the meeting tonight because we don't have much to discuss with that. Oh, the next meeting, which is June 14th, is when we're supposed to start construction. So we'll be keeping in touch with, you'll have to be in touch with Joe Collada and SLR if needed, and Sunburst, because I hope you had enough time to get everything from James that you needed.
Yeah, James and I had a couple of Zoom sessions that
Okay.
we discussed everything, and yeah, I'll be reaching out to, I talked to Sunburst once, told him I was gonna reach out to him again after Memorial Day holiday,
Yeah.
and make sure that works. So
Right, because I think they're starting like the day school gets out, or maybe
Yeah.
the day after school gets out, or something like that. So we're kind of lucky too, we didn't have a lot of snow days, so school's not getting pushed back a lot, so. Does anybody have any questions on school stuff or on the stormwater management area work?
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
Is James still around, or did he?
No,
move?
so James-
I know he was.
Yeah, he's done now?
Yeah, he finished last Friday.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, he let us know, let everybody know that needed to know, and like Evan said, he had a few meetings with
Okay.
Evan, so Evan's up to speed on. And I let Joe Colada know so he could let SLR know.
Right.
James had kind of, was brought in by planning and zoning by Beth Cavagna
Yeah.
when we first got started on this. So he was kind of being the point person, and now he's not gonna be the point person. So.
Do they have a replacement?
No, not yet. We'll see. So we're all gonna have to keep on top of it. And so the invoice that we have is for Perkins Eastman. It's just for Joe Colada, one, meeting that he came to a while back. So I think we'll do that now unless anybody has anything else. One thing that would be good to have, perhaps at the next meeting if you can, is a budget review for the school projects, which basically would be wherever we were, plus whatever we've spent on the stormwater management.
Sure.
So I'm sure there's something in your documents archived somewhere.
Yeah.
So we talked about it a little last time, and we're at least 500,000, perhaps more, in the good. So if we can get that next time, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Great. All right, so I will make a motion that we approve Perkins Eastman invoice number 0068962.09.0-4 for Johnson School Extended Professional Services for the month of April 2023 in the amount of $406.
Second.
Second from
Dave
Roy.
beat you to it, but he was muted.
Oh, he's muted, okay. We muted.
I always
Dave.
watch Dave, because he's go right there.
And as I said, this was just basically for Joe doing a meeting and a couple other things, so, any questions on this? Everybody's good with it? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Done. And, actually, we do have two more for schools, I forgot. There's STD. Yep, so this is even smaller amount from STV with doing some more of the closeout. So I will, official, which one is it? Rockwell. I will make a motion that we approve STV invoice number 90027759 for Rockwell for the month of April, the amount of $273.
Second.
Got seconds? Any questions, et cetera, on this? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Done. And then you have a Johnson. Thank you. So I'll make a motion that we approve STV invoice number 90027758 for the month of April for Johnson, the amount of $273. Sorry. I need a
Second.
Second, John Menti. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Done. I don't know as we'll have many more for Rockwell, but we'll have a few for Johnson as we get through into the construction work there.
Yeah.
So, okay. That's it for invoices. Everything else is for the next project. So anything else on school? So Evan's gonna get us some budget stuff put together. And then next time we'll be getting ready, or we'll at least have started if they start right on that day. I know Sunburst had been back and forth and said in their proposal that they needed a certain lead time for mostly the pipe. So since we approved everything in a timely fashion, kind of in the time that they needed, they should be good with, that's the biggest thing they need to get a hold of. Everything else is gonna be easier, so. All right. Moving on to the training range. Lots of stuff went out for the training range, and I hope everybody had time to review it, because I think we're gonna need to, hopefully you can give us any update that we don't know about, and,
Sure, so the biggest update is, Downs is now starting to, be a little bit concerned. I mean, we do have fluff in the schedule, but they're really hoping that we can get them an approval so we can put these drawings out on the street.
Yeah.
And that's really the crux of it. So we did get JHA to combine their drawings together with the updated action target drawings,
Yeah.
who had their consultant update all of their drawings. So if you went through that, just like we had seen with the red lines before,
Right,
they're all incorporated now, so it looks like a professional drawing set. Where it all points out that it's action targets contractor versus a general contractor.
yeah, I saw that, where it was very specifically, and that was a big question that you had brought up and a few others, where who's a mechanical contractor? So it's, I don't know if you looked through it, I saw that you could see that there was very specific, the
Right.
range, you know,
Which
the
will be very-
language.
Yeah, which will be very helpful for Downs when they put these out on the
Yes,
street. Yeah.
because then, once they go out on the street to get the bid, Downs is gonna get asked questions, well, who does what?
Yeah.
They need to be able to answer that, so,
Exactly.
and we're, you know, I think we were pretty much ready to go ahead and do these a month ago, but Action Target wasn't getting back to us quickly enough with their, you know, Jakunsky Humes needed those plans to put with the set for us to approve. We already approved the Action Target ones, but the updated ones to put with the set to be able to go out. So, does anybody want to flip through some pages and take a look? Are there any concerns anybody found?
So all the things that we requested over the past couple months have been
Yeah.
resolved, and
Yes, so I touched on the ATI stuff, but even prior to that, we had the Jakuski Humes questions that we had for them, where does their work stop as far as going into the existing building? They had addressed all of those, and again, they had done it in kind of a red line type of format. We had reviewed them a few meetings ago and told them to go ahead and incorporate those into theirs, so it looks like a complete drawing set. And all of those are incorporated into this package now.
and Jahomsky Humes is also, they're comfortable with everything to go out with Downs to go out.
Yes.
And then-
Did we get the warranty letter resolved?
Warranty
So,
level,
okay.
I was able to talk to Aon directly. They said that is their language. They will not change that. They will not change that it's on their ship date. So what I asked was, well, can you tell me what your actual shipping process looks like? You know, is it leaving your factory and going to third-party warehouse, sitting there for months, you know, or is it coming directly to us, so it's going to be a week difference in leaving the factory versus landing on site?
I'm not so worried about that part.
Okay.
I thought it was the verbiage that we got in the proposal, that it was more, the verbiage is like Action Target is what we want, so
Right.
not Aon. And I think a few of us had a concern with that language, that we place a warranty for. Action Target's not coming from Utah
No, so that language
So
has
the
been
lang-
changed, has been
okay.
changed as well.
to the Connecticut Aon
Right,
rep.
so Town of Bethel will be able to call the Connecticut rep directly. To be able to get
That's
that
what we were
approved.
Sounds like
I'm
a plan.
good.
So I think what we can do though is that warranty is kind of separate from,
Yes,
Yeah,
plan.
that's.
yes.
so I think we can
We could-
do
we could
each
sign that-
item.
We could sign that warranty in October if we want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So why don't we stick with the plans and get those settled so we can approve them, get that going, and then anything else that you brought, did you bring?
I have the ESC and the CES
Did you
proposals.
send them out to everybody?
I did, yes.
Okay, good. Just
Yes.
want to make sure. I was like, I think I saw them, but I want to make sure. So let's do the plans first. And does anybody feel a need to flip through the pages?
I don't.
You did a review,
Yeah.
your office did a review. Did you do it or is it?
I did it, yes.
Okay, because I think, who was the guy, Ardian, that was working with Benny?
Artigan has actually left STV as
Oh,
well.
okay. Alrighty then. Never mind. So you did, and you didn't see any issues, et cetera. So, we're good. I don't know if Dave Olson or if Lieutenant Durkin has anything, as far as the plans go that need to be, any questions, et cetera. And I don't know if Mark Allen has come on. And if Mark Allen, if you're on, then if you can jump in and, I don't know who that is. No Mark Allen. Okay. All right, so Mark has been in touch, though. I mean, he did do a bunch of emails and you've been in touch with him too.
Yeah.
So, as we've said, these are complete. So I am going to, I will make a motion, so we can discuss it more if we need to. I'll make a motion that we approve the plans submitted by Jakunski Humes with the action target plans attached for the firearms training range fit out dated May 10, 2023.
Second.
Dave Olson seconds. Is that complete enough for everyone?
Yeah.
Good, all right. And everybody did review. I went through it on the weekend, a little at a time. And again, I could see each place where they made the changes and, you know, brought it up to what we needed to so it's specific enough. Anybody else, anybody on Lieutenant Durkin or Dave Olson or anyone else on there have any other input on the plans?
Nope.
Okay,
So once
yeah,
we bless this tonight,
yep,
then Downs can,
So I will give them to Downs first thing tomorrow morning.
okay,
They'll spend 2 days sorting it out and getting their guys ready. Of course, it's Memorial Day,
right,
so they'll probably send them out to their subs on
Tuesday, Wednesday.
okay. Great, good.
Good. Light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep, anything else
That would
on,
be nice.
anything else on the plans? We're good?
So will they post those on like DAS website? Where do their plans go? When you say they go out, where do they go?
So I don't believe that is this subject to
Prevailing wage.
prevailing wage?
Yeah.
So we'll,
It's over 100,000.
right, so they will, yeah, so they will be putting it online to.
In the appropriate places when they put their package, their bid packages out. Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Okay, good. Yeah, good question. Thanks for reminding us of that. Okay, anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yay.
Good.
Anybody opposed? Anybody
You can get punched
abstaining?
if you do.
We're good to go. Yay, send it to Downs. And also let Councilman Humes know too that.
Yes.
So then, plans, Downs is probably already, I think they did start just kind of scoping out the whole bid package.
Yeah.
So they should be able to put that together pretty quickly and, like you said, get it out next week.
Yeah.
Does that
Great.
still put us in, like you had sketched out a little timeline for us?
Yeah.
Are we still maybe able to,
We are, yes,
Yeah.
we're still good because we had basically the entire summer.
Yeah.
Where they were just ordering and sorting materials.
right,
We're definitely still within that range.
yeah, because we do still have to do some infrastructure work.
Yes.
And as John mentioned,
Thank you.
maybe about a month ago or so, is there a way that we can keep kind of in touch with, through Action Target with the makeup air unit to see if it's
Oh, yeah.
show up early? Because if it shows up early, we're gonna be like, what?
Yep, we're definitely keeping on top of that.
Good. All right, so plans are done, and do we have to sign, does somebody have to sign them? Can you find that out?
Sure.
If I need to do an electronic thing. Action Target required that, Downs does, or Husky Humes does. All right, so what else do you have for us?
I also have our, do you want to start with the commissioning proposal, since that's actually new?
Sure.
So we went out to CES, who had done the commissioning services for the original build out of the police department. And they included basically all the bells and whistles in this proposal. And you'll see on page 3 of the proposal that it's broken up into tasks, and that last $4,000 is, again, if desired. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but we usually recommend it just so that you have one testing at the heating season one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I highly recommend, particularly that we're using the union for dehumidification. And the last time when we did the PED, we worked it out that, they had remote access.
Yeah,
To the automation system, so CS, their commissioning division will dial in and make sure that it's keeping up to the parameters that we have set for humidity, temperature.
Yep.
Everything's working right. I think it's just, that's short money for what you're getting for a solid year.
And,
Also lets us know if we're gonna make it through the season.
yeah, and
Pass or fail.
we didn't have a lot of time back and forth in meetings to discuss this, but it sounds reasonable.
That's a reason.
Sounds reasonable, yeah.
Yep.
So the total is 15,000?
Correct.
And I did run this through, because you had asked and other people asked it a couple meetings ago, going back to the people who did the police station and not having to put it out and get, competitive bids, et cetera. I went through, asked First Selectman and Marty, and so Dan and Marty both replied that it's kind of under the same umbrella, so to speak, we should be fine. And if it's under, it's usually under a certain amount too, and it is, so we should be
It's
good.
under 50,000. So, yeah, we're way under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, I'll make a motion that we approve the proposal from CES
Second,
for commissioning for the training range. John Perna seconds it. The amount of $15,000.
So this one does have a
Yeah.
signature page that.
I'll have to find out if that has to be Dan or me, but I'll print it and we'll figure that out. Because it's a contract. I think it has to be Dan, I don't think. It's under the amount of money, it's that amount of money has already been approved, but I think it's still, because it's a contract, I don't have that kind of authority, so, yeah, but I'll take care of it. All right, so, that's my motion. Anybody have any other questions, input, et cetera? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So we're done with that. And then, introduce ESC.
So ESC, I do believe that, Ben had showed this to you previously.
Yeah,
And I did go back and speak with Robert Austin, and he confirms that they will hold this number with our current construction schedule. If we push it back again,
Yeah.
we'd have to revisit it.
right.
But they will hold their $32,000 number with our current construction schedule.
So since we're still on schedule, I think we should go ahead and approve it, and not wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna quickly get into a place where we'll need their input and have them do some work.
the advantage that we have too, to prove it, is they're gonna be direct costs, right? There's no room there. So they could actually secure the material now if we approve it, and then there's no holdup once the unit comes in.
Right.
They're just plug and play programming.
Okay. So get to the page with the number on it.
What are you looking for?
I see it,
The
right
price, I see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to make it a little bit bigger, or tell me what it is. It's 30 something, I know that.
32,480.
Yeah. Thank you. So I will make a motion that we approve the proposal from ESC to do their work as proposed on the training range for the amount of $32,480.
Second.
John Perna seconds. Any other input or questions on this? Because this we've had for a little bit, so we've looked at it a couple times.
I would just say that, the quicker you get it to them,
Yeah.
because the doors open on June 15th,
Oh,
and
'cause,
all
yeah,
big work starts,
yeah.
and the shelves will be empty.
yeah. Yes, I can.
So let them secure the material.
I can print that and look at, or actually, I think I already printed it, this one we've had for a while, and see about having Dan sign it, and then I'll find out from them too, can I send them a scanned copy, or do they wanna paper copy, which I can make copies of and send, but I also have
Right.
to file the original with the town clerk.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that if you scan and send, we'll be fine with that.
Okay. All right, so, did we vote? We didn't vote. All in favor? Opposed? Done. So, is there anything else, do you have a budget update for us with this, or can you do that next time?
I do have it, I haven't shared it with you yet,
Okay,
but, I just worked on it
yeah,
quickly. So it's all raw numbers here. So we've got our commissioning agent in there that we have for 15,000. I did also, something that I haven't discussed with you, Nancy, is I put in a change order for STV. And so right now we are still just under $20,000 underneath the 1.4, whereas before we
Okay.
were at like 56.
yeah. So, that's, you're saying that number includes a change order from STV?
Yes.
Okay. So, this would have come up in doing the invoice, because the invoice that we have only goes through mid-April. Because the STV number is been exhausted, and part of that is the process that we had to go through at the very beginning, when it was the Board of Selectmen who asked STV for a proposal to be owner's rep on this project. And there were certain things, I think, that we all assumed and kind of kept with that didn't end up happening the same way we thought they would. We ended up having to go out to bid for basically the range equipment. And that put us further back, which Geraldine had to write RFPs, et cetera, et cetera. So all that time has to be accounted for, and had to go to referendum, et cetera. So it put us several months back. So now we've got to have several more months.
And within this number too, we have included escalation on Downs's last budget, which was done
Right.
last fall.
Right.
So
right.
we do anticipate that this will be a good number.
Yeah.
With going out on the streets this
Good.
month.
Good. Okay. Well, we haven't received the change order from STV.
No, we
so
have
we
not.
can't do anything.
No, I need to go through it with Mark
Right.
before I can send it out to you.
All right.
So the only thing I'll say that I don't see up there is, based on the submittal for the makeup air unit, that should be eligible for an incentive from Eversource,
Mhm.
which I'll call single sheet. So I would contact, I would start with Justin Beavis. And I could give you his number. And see if the submittal qualifies for, it could be anywhere from 200 to 400 a ton.
Okay.
In a single sheet, it's 2 pieces of paper, you just hand it and send it through, anybody that has to process it.
Okay.
And is that
Should be able to get it online.
something that we just have to fill out all the paperwork of what we're doing?
No.
It's not like
It's a
the,
single sheet, it's
Yeah.
what they, it's like it's the express method, they call it, kind of. So it's just 2 sheets of paper, you fill in the address, you attach the submittal. I didn't see the submittal, so I don't know if it qualifies, and then the check will come directly back to the town.
okay, so it's different than the couple of project, what.
Yeah,
mine had
those are
recent where-
comprehensive, that's totally
And we
different.
had to kind of include the design of
Yeah,
the
that's-
equipment to
yeah.
their specifications.
Totally different.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
totally different program.
Different kind of program.
Yeah,
but
that
but we could
involves what they
still-
call energy engineering.
Yeah.
This is just, you buy a piece of equipment and if it qualifies, they give you an incentive.
It's worth checking into.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
all right,
very easy form,
okay.
10 minutes to fill it out.
John knows all this stuff, so if you need to
Yeah.
be in touch with him about it, he'll.
But we have to see if it qualifies.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did so we got that invoice. Is there anything else anybody needs to know? We did the budget. You can maybe keep us up to date with the budget, maybe once a month. Especially since more things are gonna be coming out of
Yeah.
there. And, anything else? Anybody have any questions? Dave or Lieutenant Durkin, anything else from you guys before we start with invoices?
No, I'm good.
Thanks. Okay, so as I said, the STV invoice is only for part of the month because we've exhausted our amount, but we'll deal with that whole thing at the next meeting. So I will make a motion that we approve STV invoice number 900277769 for services rendered from April 1 to April 11, 2023 in the amount of $2,639 for the firing range.
Second.
Dave Olson seconds. Questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We're good. And then you have the Jakunski meetings.
I don't think I have a chicken teams, no.
No, well, I got it. It went out a bit ago because they gave it to us when they first submitted the plans, even though we hadn't accepted them yet. So we didn't do anything with it.
Oh,
Until-
that's an old one, that's right, yeah.
Yes, it's from
Okay.
March.
Okay.
So since we've gotten it before, we don't need to see it up there, but I will make a motion that we approve Jakunski Humes invoice number 23084 for the firing range in the amount of, total amount due, $3,500.
Second.
John Menti seconds. Any questions, et cetera, on this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what was the total bill?
The
What was the
total
total
proposal was 45,000,
And if we pay this invoice, how much is left?
10. This is as per their, the way they laid it out in their proposal, this is for completing the construction documents. And the 10,000 is for construction administration.
I have a little bit of a concern, but that's.
Well,
We're paying 75% of the project to the architect and we haven't even put a nail in the wall.
right, but their
I
part,
mean,
Yeah.
their part is done up to that. We're accepted the plans, that those plans are done, they're going out to bid. They're not going away, they're sticking around through.
I realize they're not going away, but we haven't even
It's a lot
put a
upfront.
nail in the wall and we pay them for
But we're not,
3/4 of the project.
because we're not paying them to put nails in the wall, we're paying them to draw drawings. And this was in the proposal that we approved back, the way it's laid out.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's typical for architects to be paid in those kind of, it's different than an application for payment that we get from a contractor because they have to show which percentage of each line item is done, how much is retainage. You know, this is what they've put together.
So I'm gonna make a recommendation, we're posting the plans on DAS, right?
Yep.
And we're gonna give, how much time are we gonna give people to respond to that?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
What times is
So-
gonna be, yeah.
I, at least, the sheer minimum, would say we hold it for a month until the plans come out and any comments
We've
come
been,
out that have to get resolved.
we've been holding them since, for 2 months. This is March 15th, so we're in mid-May, so we've held it for 2 months. Waiting for the plans to get updated the way they had to get updated.
So wait, what is this, if we pay this payment, it'll put us at 75% or over 75%?
We owe them $10,000 for 45, so we paid, with paying this, we would have paid them 35,000,
Out of,
45. Because that's the, you know, in any project, the front end of getting the plans done is bigger than the construction administration part.
No, I get
That's
that.
kind of how it goes.
Especially on this project where they don't own,
Yeah,
ATI
I mean,
owns the
Right,
majority of
And
the
the big
interior
stuff,
without,
yes,
and the
right.
MIU.
yes.
I do understand, John, your concern about,
the plans didn't hit the
about
street
bidding,
yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
about bidding any type of changes that need to happen on that.
Right,
But
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
so, listen, when the bid hits street, they gotta answer any of the Okay,
They will.
Yeah.
They will. I mean,
Yeah,
I
they
understand what
will.
you're saying. They
You're
have
right.
to answer, because there's gonna be, when the bids go out on the street, then there's gonna be that whole period of time that questions can get asked. And then the questions get answered either by Downs or by Chikunsky Humes, or maybe even by Action Target. Hopefully, there won't be any Action Target questions, because that will take forever. But they will have to answer within a certain period of time, and the answers go out to everyone who's bidding. That's standard also. So I'm quite comfortable with paying our bills on time, and that they're not gonna go away, that they're gonna do what they have to do.
Nancy, I have a question as far
Sure.
as the, I think they were probably a little premature in sending the bill out 2 months ago, or a month ago, to start with. So, I think I hear your concerns as far as waiting till
I do,
something comes
because,
up. But one of the concerns that I have is, that, I'm assuming that the items that they've incorporated in on these changes recently are all included without I'm gonna call it a change order or an additional billing. So if we're, I'm assuming that's all included now.
Yes, it is. They haven't brought a change order forward.
Okay.
I would think
No,
that,
I'm just throwing it out, so I
Yeah.
think along those lines, I
Mhm.
I think John's concerns are, I think we do have to recognize that, because if there was some additional amounts, I think we would all be probably a little bit shocked
Mhm.
And-
if something came through different.
I'm gonna say how I think.
And
Additionally-
they do bill like that. I don't disagree
And
with,
yeah, but we've given them a lot of money already. So we're not, this is not gonna break the bank, but there is a little incentive while the bid drawings are out there for 3 weeks. If any corrections have to be made, then the corrections are made and we release it in a month, and, everybody's happy. You don't know if everything, I wouldn't know if everything in those drawings, but when they hit the street, there'll be questions from contractors, right?
It's always
that'll-
about it, yeah.
there's
There's
always
always
questions.
questions.
There's always
Yeah.
gonna be questions.
Yeah,
And I feel quite comfortable with where we are with them. They gave us this invoice the day they gave us the plans, or not the day of, but during that time period of within a week. But then we had a lot of questions on the plans,
Right.
which they updated quite quickly. It was Action Target that we waited the longest for. And don't we have an Action Target invoice?
We do have an action record invoice, yes.
Yes. I didn't print it. Okay, good. We waited longer for Action Target. So I'm fine with paying them because it's part of the timeline of how things work with the architects. So
I don't disagree with you.
I made a motion and
That's
we're
the only
discussing
thing. I
it
mean,
and then we'll
that's-
see.
That's the way that they get
Yeah.
So
They're not gonna go away. They're not gonna drag their feet.
I just don't want to
Because
get
this
another
isn't their
bill
first
for-
rodeo
for
either.
What we're doing right now.
Yeah.
That's what that would be my only concern.
Is that you think they're gonna,
I don't know, that would be my only concern, but
Right.
then we're gonna have to, pick it up with the $10,000.
Right.
I mean,
I kind of think that if there was gonna be more, but they would have brought it to our attention. It's been 2 months. And
but it's really stuff that was redone recently though, right?
They, like I said, they redid theirs. I mean, they redlined it all pretty
Yeah.
quickly. Then it had to be,
So what will we have to hold in contingency over their head?
10,000.
10,000?
well, it's not a contingency.
Well,
really.
yeah,
It's their
I'm
next
Sorry,
payment.
wrong use of words.
And that won't happen until the project is
And
finished.
you really don't have anything that you're holding, for the design services.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, but they did the design.
Right,
They
that's what
did
I
the
mean.
design. That's the whole thing, is they've done the
It is
design.
complete, no question.
Now they're
about
gonna do the construction administration part, meaning they keep up with it. They come and check now and again.
Right.
If we have questions, they answer them. If anybody has questions, they get answered, et cetera. If something's not
Yeah.
right, they fix it. That's, part of the whole thing. Anything
I'm
else?
okay with it. I mean,
Maybe we should make a
I hear you, John, I totally hear you,
And I understand too, yeah, I
but
think we
kind of the way
gotta
things are done.
keep moving things along, so. So we'll vote, if everybody's ready to vote. All in favor? Aye. So we need to know if Dave Olson says aye. Durkin, we need to know if you say aye. Durkin,
Got it, Bob.
Durkin,
Ground control, Major Bob.
No, she's doing-
whatever.
she's
We'll
doing
assume he
Ferris
says
Bueller.
yes.
Durkin,
Bueller.
Durkin.
And, no, oh, sorry, we're voting on the invoice.
Dave,
And do you vote no?
No,
He votes no.
No.
Dave votes no.
And
So
what about Dave?
Dave Olson said yes, right?
Yes.
He said
yes,
Yes, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2.
3, 4, 5, 2.
Yeah, so my motion carries. Thank you. So do you have the Action Target one?
So Action Target has given us an invoice for stored materials. Basically, what they're saying is that their firing range materials and equipment have been fabricated and are in a warehouse. Typically, for a invoice such as this, I would require photographic evidence that it is there and in good standing, in good shape, to prove that it actually was there and not going out to another site. I have requested that, I have not received it from them, but we have this invoice from
So, wait a minute, they're making our equipment and they're gonna
Yes.
charge us to store it.
them. Not charging you to store it, they're charging you because it's been fabricated.
Because they
Oh,
fabricated.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
I
no.
was charging.
It's in storage.
Fabricated, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I
it's
took
already
it-
fabricated, it's sitting there, and they want a partial payment.
Gotcha,
And I think, didn't you ask them
but yes, I agree, we should
to reduce?
Yeah, so this is the,
take a road trip.
this is the updated one.
Okay.
That has, what I asked them, and, you know, basically showing all their math too.
Right,
To
right.
make sure that it was fully understood what this payment would mean to the total bottom line, to what they have for.
Kathy can make the thing go away if you need to, see it. Just hit that minus sign up there, we won't be able to see everybody, but you can open it back up again. Now you have to do it.
so I have no, what is the normal policy as far as holding these? I mean, I'm more familiar with holding them when they're on site, what have you.
Right,
Um,
and that's
so-
partially like a whole retainage thing
Home
too.
construction's 820.
Am I, I think it's maybe something we should ask Artie on also, but whether they hold an escrow or whether there's some way that we have.
Basically paid them.
Well, so we paid
Is
them
this- yeah, that-
like about half already
Yeah.
for the plans
Right.
and for,
To start
to
manufacturing.
start the manufacturing of the range equipment.
Right,
And probably some goes towards that AU too. And this is saying that they manufactured all the stuff and it's sitting somewhere. Because they wanted to deliver it like 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's kind of on us on that aspect.
What's that?
well,
That's
on
kind of
on
on
that
us
note,
aspect.
on that note though.
Yeah.
Can it be delivered to the
Right.
job site?
No. Because it's all gonna be in the way, unless we buy a
Um,
storage pod to put it in. It would be in the way for putting the infrastructure, like when they have to put all the stuff in the struts in the ceiling. And I don't know how much space it takes up, I don't know. if you know.
Right, I don't know if it would, if you get 2 Connex boxes for $200 a month, I don't know if it would fit in that, you know.
Well, the other thing you have to look at is does it need to be stored
Right,
in temperature controlled, humidity controlled space?
Mhm.
If you put in a Conex box, will it rust, will issues happen?
Well, it shouldn't rust because they said we didn't have to do any.
Yeah, I
Temperature
know,
control in
it
the
shoulda, woulda,
space.
coulda, I'd hate to pull the thing out, to be honest.
I know,
Oh, you're screwed.
and I don't know how much space it takes up if a couple of Connex boxes is better than sticking it inside the range to get some of the stuff inside the range, we have to bust the hole open so they can forklift it in.
Mhm.
We don't wanna do that right
Yeah,
now.
and then we're asking
Backyard.
Downs to mobilize multiple times.
Yes,
and-
yeah,
Right.
and that's gonna cost more, so,
how much did they charge us to store it?
They're not charging you to store it. I think I must have misspoke there. It's not charging. They have the space in their own manufacturing facility. And
it's sitting
basically,
there,
They're saying that it's fully manufactured, it's it's in its boxes, it's ready to ship.
On my way,
Right.
I make it to my move.
They want money because they paid.
Right, because the project is supposed to be
And
completed at
16
this point,
service out there, but it's.
in the original
So
schedule.
we're just playing for the fabrication.
Yes,
not the-
yes.
Oh,
Yes,
oh, oh.
yes.
All right, that sounds better.
Yeah.
I thought it was fabricated and now that, because they couldn't
No,
install it, we have
no.
to pay storage.
No, because they're having to hold on to it for a little while, they want some money towards the fact that they actually finished fabricating it.
So their total bill was $824.
We
We
paid
gave
410.
them $410.
Yep.
And they want another $182.
Right, and so we still would owe them the 232, 483.
So, I'm having a hard time with this.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I digest it.
I'm having a
The
really-
materials and everything are not 400,000, the labor.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking,
I'm not comfortable.
I don't know. I don't know what-
This one, let alone this one.
I mean, I've been to a lot of gun ranges, I'm not picturing it in my head as to,
We've got 400,000 already out there, we haven't seen.
we haven't seen a bulk.
Here's the problem, and we ran into this before, is if you don't hold enough money back, there's no incentive for him to come here and do the work.
Mhm.
And, you know, and if you wanted to take it a step further, there'd have to be the language in the contract that
That's what I
sit,
would-
to your point, to say that when it's fabricated, you have to pay for
I
it.
think this is a Marty question, not a.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That's paying for 3/4 of the job without even putting a
Screw in the
shovel
wall.
on the ground. Screw in the wall. A nail on your head.
No nails, we're using screws now. How about a Hilti gun? Sorry, don't look at me.
Do we have any
Well, the other-
contract,
We
language?
we do have it. I got it in there
Yeah, no,
somewhere and I
yeah,
keep trying to get to
I'm
it.
not sure,
Because if the 824, 880 includes range equipment and installation of it, MAU and the installation of that,
Right,
some of that's got to be the MAU, which is still being manufactured.
right,
Mhm.
and labor.
But you didn't get it.
But even if it was
Just the paint,
manufactured,
put stickers
they're
on.
saying that that's for the range equipment. That's all been
They're
manufactured.
gonna come back and ask you for the MAU once it's manufactured, then how much
Well,
money you have left is.
We're not gonna have, we can't, because that's, the MAU itself was, what was the MAU? The smaller part of the original contract was the range equipment. The big part was the MAU.
Right.
And that was the part that went up, which put us over the million. They just have to go to referendum.
It was, range equipment was 455, and the dedicated HVAC MAU was 365.
Essentially paid for the.
Maybe we should suggest, talk to council about this and see if
Sure.
we get any pictures,
So-
Yeah,
proving it's there.
so I would
Yeah.
say
So we can hold
that,
off at least.
How do we know? it's
look
next
for
year?
pictures, I'll check with Marty.
Go walk outside and take a picture of air conditioning, say, yeah, that's your unit.
Well, this isn't the MAU, this is the
You and me
range,
It's like duct cleaning,
yeah.
right? You see one duct, you see, I cleaned it, yeah. Yeah.
All right, John, that's it.
So,
Tomorrow, you
yeah,
and
I
I
mean,
flying out
do
of
we
Kennedy.
Have the
LaGuardia.
previous
Oh, yeah.
invoice
you
paid, what percentage of that was for MAU? Was
No.
any of it
No.
for MAU?
No. That's not how they do their invoices. But I think Vinny asked, the last one for the
205.
205
No, thanks.
was, just looked like this, doesn't say what it was for, and he asked for a little bit more, and I get it.
Right.
And then we get their accounting department plugging the, other finance department saying part-time on it,
Right, yeah.
so.
Are you drinking?
So we can look at the contract,
We have to look at.
yeah,
We're already halfway into this.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, you said the
Nothing
take up your
specific.
unit was
Yeah.
360.
365,
Yeah, we give it three
So
quarters.
take 360 off of the
You're in the.
324,
think we should hold off and talk to council.
That's all the more we should hold on,
Yeah.
right?
That's a lot up front.
Well, I didn't make any motions to approve this, so we can.
Table it for now.
Yeah. So, and I will check on, with Marty, and we'll have to check, you and I can look at the contract, and they'll just have to,
Well, payment schedule.
their part, accounting
Yeah.
department can.
I think that's the only thing, is
Yeah,
that payment
because
schedule, what is it?
the- Some of the, if they're
Percentage,
saying,
is there a
oh, the
percentage in the
equipment should have
schedule
been
that
here
says
by now,
At 50%
some of that
goes to
delay was
65,
done.
70.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah,
A fair amount.
a big, all
So
of it.
if you took the makeup air unit out of it and deducted it out of the 324, you're in the 450 range.
Yeah,
And we didn't even get the makeup air.
Right.
yeah.
No,
Yep.
that's-
Right.
All right, so that's what we'll do with that. So anything else on the training range? Do you have anything else in your little
I don't know.
items there? I don't either. So I think we're done with that. We'll both check into what we said we would check into with this invoice, and then go from there with it. We'll see what we do next time. And I can get the other ones. Invoices should be in the shared drive, but if they didn't get put in the shared drive by somebody, then they're not theirs, but I'm sure they're part of an attachment of an email at some point, so, yeah. Anything else on the range that anybody needs to know about? We're looking like we're moving forward more, yay.
Thank God.
Okay, so now, do we jump in and do election of officers, which we were waiting on?
Well, I just have one last question.
Sure.
Did we get an update from Aon on the ETA of the makeup area?
Oh,
When I asked that question, I got override.
when you asked it, who?
You weren't here last.
I was not here
week,
last
right?
week, no.
No,
So
we-
everybody said, oh, well, that's the Evan question.
So they,
Particularly you said that. it was
Well,
Evan's
because I
question.
didn't know, because he's usually the
So
one
I-
that's been in touch with them.
the delivery date they're holding as October 6th. We're continuing to keep in contact with them to see if they could beat that.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it won't matter if they could beat that, because Downs is, once they get these guys lined up and signed on, they're gonna be signed on for a certain time. So even if they beat that date, if they beat it by 2 weeks, there's a very good chance, unfortunately, that we're not gonna be able to get those subcontractors. to
We were more
rearrange our schedule.
concerned about the other side, not the front side.
Mhm.
Get it sooner.
Oh.
For any reason getting delayed, and then we can't put the panels up, we can't put the steel up, because the stuff would rust. We had to know that the unit was here
Yes.
before we started outfitting construction.
Right.
We weren't concerned more, about, the October date is good, but knowing if they said for some reason, well, now it's changed to November 5th.
There's been
That's
no.
what we were more concerned.
Right, yeah, and there's been no indication of that
Okay,
from that.
good.
either.
Should we do election of officers, so I can give that to Lisa and happy, I'll be happy.
Might as
Do you have
well.
anything else for that last?
Yeah, just a little quickie, but I don't want him to leave, so. So are we gonna do that? Let's do election of officers.
Nominate Nancy Ryan to be chairman.
I'll
Second that.
second
Any other nominations for chair?
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Done. We need a vice chair. I nominate John Menti.
I second it.
Second that.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Done. And then we actually are supposed to appoint a secretary. Can be anybody. You don't ever do anything, and it's not Kathy. It has to be one of us. So I'll nominate Dave Horvath.
Oh,
I'll second that.
Roy seconds it. All in favor?
No.
Aye.
no harassment.
Any nays? Done. Okay,
I didn't
yay,
say
we
something
got
like
that
you
done.
can't.
You got that all written down, Kat? All right, and so then the HVAC project, so we had talked about, wanting to have a meeting. And I had emailed all that to Dr. Carver and included everybody, and then she sent a whole big email back. Basically, we can't, apply, so I thought they just took the application from the last one and stuck it into, no, we gotta apply again.
Again?
Yes, in August.
Like you gotta,
Maybe
like,
not even August, maybe later than
so is
August.
this like a start from scratch kind of thing? You can't even cut and paste kind of thing?
No, we
or-
can use
Okay,
all the plans and stuff like
Gotcha.
that. So she sent out that whole long email, which I think everybody got.
I read part of it, I couldn't.
I know, it was like, there was a lot of it. She went through the, which we've done at meetings before, where she
Yeah.
went through from the beginning to. And, I don't see a need for a meeting immediately.
So are we still gonna walk it through? I'd like to get up there and look at it.
You would.
Still.
Okay, well, I'm wondering if
I
that
mean,
would be easier to
Maybe I
do
just
when
make a deal with
school's out.
Bob. Yeah,
Yeah,
after I left this.
Well, if we're gonna do it, I gladly attend, I need advance notice.
Yeah.
I'm not here from, June 3rd to the 17th, so I can't be in that one.
Okay,
so 17 is around, like when you come back, that's around when school's out.
Yeah.
So maybe with Bob, we can make arrangements to whoever wants to go up there. I don't know if we need Cola Ronin, because
Well, they put it all together.
they did put it all together, but we're not gonna have them do any kind of changing or anything.
You know-
It's like, you guys,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
right, what
I
do you?
was gonna say, from the email, what I interpreted from Dr. Carver is, this is the way it is, guys, deal with it.
Yeah.
That's the impression I
gist
got.
I got of it too.
Maybe I'm being a little
I didn't-
harsh,
I didn't
but
get
that's how I looked at the
that
email.
total.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't looking
I
at it,
didn't-
I
I
was
didn't-
kinda getting more like,
I got the impression this
There's no
really
need
isn't
to
a
rush.
project yet, until we.
Well,
Right.
that it is, really, it isn't.
it
can be
isn't
a
our project
When it
until,
becomes a project, we should,
yes,
then we should relook at it.
yes.
Yeah, but
But I
the only
didn't see-
problem
It's a little
with,
bit cast in stone though,
yeah, just a little bit,
just a little bit,
just a little.
but I think there's room there
But
to
I
relook at it.
think, being that we got such an early start on this project, that it might be in our best interest to review it one time on what we're gonna be in charge of. Because the way I understand it is, the grant has to be overseen by our committee. So,
So,
We need to make, we need
do
to.
any of us know what the design package is
sounds like.
that we're gonna be in charge of?
Not
So-
right now, I don't know if they finished it yet.
Right.
Oh, that'd be even better if they finished it and then we didn't get any input.
Yeah.
I think, so, I think a couple things, is obviously Bob has to be there and he's not here tonight. But
Well,
to walk, to
yeah,
get, I'm thinking, John, I'd like to get as much preliminary as what's there now, what's existing, what does it feed? Give me the schematics, give me the one, just give me one line, give me something that shows what the layout is existing, so when we get the new stuff, we can say, okay, they're not touching this, they are touching this, because just saying, okay, this is what we're doing, doesn't tell me what the house is pre-existing, if what's getting changed out, what's getting changed, what needs to be changed, what wasn't changed, blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
So, and another thing that I'd like to say is, there is a very good possibility that this was on a grading system,
I know.
Mhm.
and we didn't get a good grade because of what type of equipment we put in. Because some of the equipment has a very short life.
Mhm. And the state's not
And it
gonna save
very well
money.
could be, they may not think so, but our input could help them maybe on the second round. But strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out.
Yeah, you know
And
better
I
than
know that
John.
we put several large projects together. And the approach must have been good because we got 3 million. On the same grant.
I think it's just your selling personality, I think that's what it is.
It's my personality,
Yeah.
yeah. It is.
No, but I agree with you 110%. If they're looking for a long-term investment, so they want to see their capital get used in a good way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not gonna throw an 87 used VW up there, you're gonna put up a Cadillac.
Right.
Well, you're not putting up a Cadillac, you're putting up,
Yeah. So that may have a lot to do with it, if you're lucky.
So, since you're away,
68 Roadmaster.
and it's gonna be easier to do it when school's out, when you're back, we'll have to put something together to be up there and take a look around and all like that.
I mean, the town must have all the prints on
Yes.
line, I would imagine, right?
Well, you saw some of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll try to scan what I took out of,
They don't have anything electronic that we can
Yes.
steal?
they
Okay.
do, but it's like 1,000 pages.
That's all right, I got time.
Okay.
I got people
All right.
work for me.
I have to look back then and I'll send it to you. I'll
Alright.
pull up my phone, my computer at home, but
Yeah.
It was
sent them all the
huge.
time.
You can put it on a thumb drive?
I think she sent it in some sort of attachment type.
Yeah, it might be a
something.
Zip it?
Zip
Yeah.
drive or Mimecast or
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
All right.
the problem was that what they sent me only could be opened by somebody that was within here, and you couldn't open it from the outside.
Oh.
But then we were able to open it, I think, somehow.
Yeah, because I had to make a couple phone calls.
Yeah.
I don't have my printer.
Right. All right, okay, so that's good, we're gonna do that. Anything else? Good?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
God, Menti, yes, we.
Tables and seconds, all in favor?
I was about to ask
Aye.
if you go get your wife from the train
Opposed?
station.
No, not tonight, she's home already.
There you go.
Good night, everybody.